Hola, good people, and welcome back to We Are the New Normal. I am Sam, and happy to see everyone here today on this terrific Tuesday. And yes, I took Monday as a day of reflection. Yesterday made 17 years that my dad passed away. He actually passed away when my daughter was 2 years old. And surprisingly, there was this amazing, awesome bond that my dad and my daughter were able to form at such a young age, to where she still is very influenced by the short time that she had with him. And I can just feel that, my dad wished that he had more time with her. The bond that my dad and my daughter had is definitely special and unique. Okay, I'm enjoying my sun today, but I'm gonna move out a little bit so that y'all can actually see my face. Okay, so um it just got me to thinking about parents and parenting, and how, number one, our parents, I know when I was younger, I used to think that my mom and my dad were perfect. They knew everything. Oh my God, they're so smart. How did they know that? How, my dad, they're just perfect and they're smart. And then when I got older, I realized they were normal. They were normal people. They didn't know absolutely everything, but they still were great, smart, wonderful people. However, a lot of times I think that we put our parents on this super high pedestal, expecting them to be almost, non-human. But we do have to realize that everyone as an adult is just the product of everything that they went through up until that point. And a lot of adults are stuck in some phase of childhood. It could be early childhood, it could be puberty, it could be early 20s. When there is a traumatic event in someone's life, a lot of times the person, once experiencing that trauma, gets stuck at that age, and they grow as an adult, but mentally they're kind of stuck in that phase wherever the trauma occurred. So you have to realize that our parents, although they love us, are just people just like we are. And they come into this world trying to experience everything like we do and do the right thing. And they always have our best intention in mind, but they are not perfect. They are doing the best that they can. They didn't come here with any type of instruction manual on how to raise us, how to be themselves, how to navigate this world any better than we know how to. So when we think about our relationship with our parents, it is the very first relationship that teaches us many things. How we understand love. It is the relationship that makes us form how we expect other people to treat us and love us. Your father is your first example of a man showing love to you as a woman. Guys, your mom is your first example of a woman showing love to you. So those are huge pivotal moments in your life that form and influence the entire rest of your life and who you are and your beliefs and everything. Your parents are the very first and strongest influence in you becoming who you are. However, we have to understand that at a certain age, you can no longer blame your parenting for your current circumstance. So although it had a huge chunk in you becoming who you are, at a certain point, then you take over and you become who you want to be, or you understand what you went through and how it made you who you are, and you get to change the narrative if you'd like to. For me, there's a lot of things that my parents believed in that I don't believe in. There's a lot of things that, if my parents got to make the decision, they would probably have made a different decision. So I took hopefully the best of what I felt my parents had to give me. But then when you get to a certain age, you adopt your own ideals, you adopt your own beliefs, you adopt your own way of life based on your life experiences and information that you've gathered. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing your own thing. It's usually quite difficult if you tend to take a path that your parents or your family doesn't take, but it is your responsibility to run your life. So hopefully you will take the best of what your parents knew and came to know in their life experience and that they shared with you in order to be your best self. But you, at the end of the day, are the end all, be all, say all for your life. Also, when we think of our parents, let's be a little bit more forgiving. We used to think that they were perfect. When we realized that they weren't perfect, sometimes it gives us a little bit of a chip on our shoulder to where we believe that we can, then we can, because we're adults and we can tell our parents how it is. And you do, respectfully, get to speak to your parents as an adult when you get older. But you have to respect the fact that your parents did the best that they could. They absolutely tried to do what they thought was the best for themselves and their family and for you. So it may be a case where you may have to forgive your parents for things that you see that they did wrong. Now that you're an adult and you can look back at your life and your situation, it may be some things that you just simply have to forgive. And you have to forgive from the place of realizing once again that they are simply a product of everything that they've been through. So maybe if you weren't able to feel love from a certain parent, that is because that parent went through something painful in their life that prevents them from being able to do that. It is not that they are bad people. It is not that they are monsters or anything like that. You just have to realize that as much as we put our parents on a pedestal as these perfect people, when we get older and we realize that they are just like us, we have to be a little bit more forgiving. To be able to look at it from their perspective and understand, maybe it takes being a parent to understand that. So I can say that since I've had my own child and have had to experience some things that I'm sure my parents had to experience with me, it gave me a whole different understanding of who they were and why they did what they did. And some things they couldn't, even if they tried to explain when I was younger, I would never really understand. And it really didn't hit me until I was a parent myself. So think of that. And let's not be so rigid when it comes to holding a grudge or holding parents so accountable for our outcome in our life. They were the beginning. We are always the end. Always. So I guess today is just a day where maybe you can reflect on the person that you've become, the two people who started your beginning and guided you along the way, and look at your life. See, are you acting out your parents' relationship in your relationships? Are you rebelling against some sort of family dynamic that didn't serve you? Are you continuing family traditions or cycles that are unhealthy? So, as yesterday was my day of reflection, maybe today can be your mini day of reflection to reflect on yourself and your life, how you behave, how other people treat you, how you treat others, and why that is. And a lot of it may have come from your initial example of what you think the world would be, and that would be the example of your parents. Your real father and your real mother, your mom and your stepdad, your two moms, your two dads, your mom and your sister, whoever was your mom and dad figure when you grew up, when you were growing up. Maybe take a look back, see how that influenced your life. Is there anything that has come from that relationship that you're still carrying and it's holding you back or dragging you down or needs to be examined with some honesty? Could have had a great childhood and want to look back today and be thankful for everything that your parents and your family instilled in you. Or you may want to look back and say, hey, I appreciate what they tried to do, but I'm going to tweak it a little bit and make it work for what works for me. Whatever the case, we thank our parents dearly for doing what they do. And I hope I make my parents proud. I hope that I have lived my life in a way that shows them that I appreciate what they've done, and I use my own brain. And although I am not a clone of either one of them, I am a product of both of them, and both of what they have taught me resides in me. But I would like to say that I am more than the sum of my parts. So I am of my mother and of my father, but the two of them came together to create something that is simply more than just the sum of those two people. So I hope that I make my dad proud. I hope that I made my mom proud. And taking some time to reflect has really given me a lot of insight about myself and how I act and how I see the world, and things that I'd like to change and things that I'd like to maybe enhance a little bit more and hold on to. So that was my yesterday, and maybe that may be something that you want to do today. And in that moment, maybe you can reflect on this gem that I would like to drop on you today. And the gem simply says, I'm not sure who it is from, but let's see. Another anonymous quote. So it says, don't anger your parents in order to please other people. Those people did not spend their entire lives building yours. So let that melt on your mind. Parents make the ultimate sacrifice. No matter how good or bad of a job that you think your parents did, the fact that they kept you by their side, they fed you, they clothed you, and they did the best that they could with what they had means everything. There are not many other people in life that will give up their lives to make sure that your life is the best that you can have. So I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful day. My sun is hiding behind the cloud so you guys can see my face today, but as soon as that cloud moves, I'm out in the sun getting my vitamin D. So everyone have a wonderful week. Thank you once again. I love that you guys come to see me, and I hope that the information that I share with you helps you in some way. So if it has, like the video. If you think it could help someone else, share the video. And by all means, I would love if you guys would subscribe and click the bell so that every time I drop a video, I can know that your lovely faces are watching me and growing and learning with me. So once again, thank you everybody for coming to see me today. And remember, you are good people. Have a good life.